support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
The wasteland is a post-apocalyptic mess as the sole survivor wanders out, about to see the rest. Nuclear explosions sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, frozen atomic waves. From deep within the core, frozen atomic waves.
Hello, and welcome to the 113th episode of the Fallout Feed. I am Andrew. I'm joined tonight by a couple of really nice fellas named Ray. Hey, Ray.
Evening, Andrew.
And Lee. Hi, Lee.
Greetings.
And Phil. What's going on, Phil? Is this your first podcast ever, Phil?
It is my first ever. Good evening, Andrew. Sorry.
Oh, no, is it afternoon where you are?
Oh, you know, it's 7:03 in California.
Technically, it's always afternoon somewhere, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Phil, welcome to the show. Such a pleasure to have you. We wanted to grab you onto the show this week because you have been a very vocal supporter of the Fallout 76 movement in our group. So welcome aboard, Phil. We're looking forward to hearing what you have to say. And Lee, it's been a while since we've had you on. You've also been playing a good deal of 76, I've heard. So we thought we'd have you on and tell us all about what you guys have been up to the last few weeks. And, Fallout 76 has been a fun time. And Sarah has also joined us. Hi, Sarah. How are you doing tonight?
Hi. How are you?
Wonderful. And you've also been playing lots of 76, I've heard. Well, no, you've been jonesing for 76 and just got back, right?
Right.
Yeah, excellent. So we're going to get into some 76 talk tonight on the Fallout feed. And probably talk about some roundtable stuff, what we plan on doing for the roundtable. Any new listeners out there, we have this project on the Fallout feed called the Roundtable where we assign quests in games and we all play those same exact quests, but the ticker is, here we have a random character generator, and this random character generator does exactly what it sounds like. Spits out random stats for you to build your character around. And so that way we get really different perspectives about the gameplay style and any way the game can be experienced. That's one of the fun things we like to do here on the Fallout feed. Welcome everybody to the show. Hope you enjoy it. We will talk this roundtable through a little bit. We're going to do our first one with the Fallout 76 Reclamation Day here celebration stuff. I can't believe it still says Thanksgiving time on the menu. I thought that would go away by now. When is it going to pop up? Happy December or something?
It's a season.
Thanksgiving season.
Apparently.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and dive in. We've got some stuff going on later on in the show. Audio feedback from Sarah. Sarah chimed in. Hello, Sarah. Thank you for sending in some stuff. An email from Beardy Sai. Just a quick little one. Thanks, Simon, for writing in. Your email will serve as a purpose for us collecting names for anyone who would like for us to draw your character for you. When we do that on our 12-hour cystic fibrosis charity marathon that we're going to do on December 8th. I forget what time we're on. I think we're on at 10 a.m. for the Fallout feed. So if anyone would like to join us live in the YouTube chat, we'll draw you a character. It's really fun. Always one of our favorite events of the each season of the Roundtable is just getting everyone together, drawing characters and all that. So it'll be a good time. Ray and Sarah, I heard you guys were running around together in what's it called? Appalachia? I can never pronounce it right.
Appalachia.
The natives say Lacha. I've been listening to a podcast called Vault Boys West Virginia. It's a couple West Virginians talking about the game.
Oh, nice.
That is cool.
That is cool.
They have a good native perspective.
Yeah, they're talking about a lot of the locations and all that stuff. Apparently, it's a podcast that's been around a while because by the time the game came out, they were like in season 2. And in fact, I think they just finished up season 2. And they're going to start in season 3 and continue talking about 76.
Oh, very nice.
What it's called, Vault Boys.
Cool.
Note of that.
They,
So Sarah and I did manage to hook up. It was brief.
Yep.
We got a few things done, but in the short time we were able to clear out a bunch of scorched and kill Mothman and the Grafton monster.
Yeah,
Nice.
we were efficient.
you said it was a short while, but then you slaughtered at least 4 different monsters that I haven't even really come across yet.
We get things done.
No messing around.
No, we don't mess.
Good old shoot first and ask questions later, Ray.
Yeah, that's right.
For real.
That's one of the wonderful things about the Fallout games is you can really play at your own pace. If you like a rush, you can rush. If you like to mosey, you can mosey, and I'm a mosier, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Some of the mobs don't mosey though.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, getting a 68 scorched conquer, I think he was, when I was about a level 18 or something. That was, I was a little cocky. I thought, oh, it's just another scorch. These guys are 1 or 2 shots to the head. And
Yeah, they're
no sweat, but this guy was tough.
Really?
Yeah.
yeah. Radioactive Rebecca and I were having a conversation earlier today, and she said, "Oh, hey Andrew, I noticed in the atomic shop where you spend your little atoms that you earn, that they have an outfit very similar to Grognak."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Oh, that's great. I love the Grognak's costume because it provided a buff to melee or strength or something that I was using on my melee character." And then I said, "Wow, it'd be great if they, had clothing in the game that provided buffs to stuff still. Like, I think that's kind of weird that they didn't." And she said, "Well, I think that's because they don't want certain players to have an edge." And then I said, "Then why are they letting a player at a level 114 on the same server as me?"
Good point.
If they cared about fairness, they would group everyone by like level 10 to 19. You guys are together. Level 20 to 29. You guys are together,
Yeah, but then when you change worlds, you could still change to anywhere, probably.
Yeah. It's just weird. I missed clothing with buffs. I guess the armor still has some though.
Well,
Yeah,
I
there is some clothing. There's a line of pursuit, we'll call it, that ends up giving you some clothes that have some very specific bonuses to them.
Oh, great.
I will say, a mysterious set of bonuses to not give too much away.
Ooh, I like it.
Curious. Not tipping your hand there at all, are you, Lee?
Trying not to. Not too much. We are spoiler free today, right?
Don't tip your mitt. Yeah, we are going to try to stay story-wise at least. Guys, we're going to talk about monsters that we face. We're going to find different things, different scenarios we're going to. What we're going to avoid spoiler-wise is the main quest, the main storyline, that sort of stuff. But we're not going to avoid talking about what battles we've gotten into, what sort of stuff we found. If you're that worried about that type of spoilers, then I don't know. We drop, all spoilers are done on December 8th. We're going to draw characters. So we'll talk about the characters the week after that. Then the week after that will be our first episode where we talk about quests. So that's when our spoilers will drop, about mid-December sometime. We'll start talking about the main quest. Now, a lot of people say that this game doesn't really have quests. It's the main quest isn't worth it. It's whatever. I'm powering through the main quest. That's all I'm doing. I'm not worrying about any side quests and stuff. That's probably why I haven't run into those monsters you guys mentioned. I haven't come across Mothman yet. I think you have to go to a specific area to run into Mothman, correct?
No, we found it in a fairly innocuous place. It wasn't, next to the Mothman Museum or anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was just chilling.
You don't have to trigger him somehow or something? Maybe? I don't know. I ran into a Grafton monster and it did that thing which it does so often in this Fallout 76. I'm finding compared to Fallout 4 is where the monster's coming at you and it just freezes in place and shakes its arms at you. You know, it looks like it's angry, but it doesn't come at you, and it just stops in place, and you can just pluck it off with 100 bullets. Like, that's weird. That seems to happen fairly frequently, at least one time per play session. It seems to me like one of the monsters will get stuck in place and just sit there and take a bunch of bullets to the face.
I have a theory about a lot of the issues in 76.
All right, let's hear it.
Well, I think what they did was they took a fairly early build of Fallout 4, and they gave it to the studio. I think it was in this that new networking stuff, and they proceeded to add networking to it. And I'm not entirely sure they ever went back and said, "Oh, look at all these bugs we fixed in Fallout 4 since then. We could probably apply a lot of these back into 76." But I don't think anybody's done that. And so you've got a lot of these what people remember as old errors that were in Fallout 4 that seem to be fresh and new in 76.
Showing their ugly face again.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's a theory.
I think it makes a lot of sense because all of this online stuff, I mean, wasn't Elder Scrolls Online done by another vendor for Bethesda? So this is all new territory for Bethesda. So I could totally see them dividing the task in two, giving the networking stuff, the multiplayer stuff to the new guys, and focusing on the game development and the new artwork and that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
and
I'm pretty sure that's why they bought that studio, was to get the online expertise, because they
right, exactly.
It all comes down to the original idea. Like, gee, I wonder what Fallout 4 would be like with multiplayer, or playing it with your friends.
I love it. I can't. I read all the criticisms of the game, and honestly, my feeling is I was prepared to wait 5, 6, 7 years for Fallout 5, and I was, I was ready for it. I wasn't happy about it, and then all of a sudden, Fallout 76 is announced, and 3 years later, so I'm pleased as punch, and I'm especially pleased because I expected. I don't play a lot of multiplayer games because I just don't have the reflexes, and I like the moseying, and I like the just growing crops and scrapping stuff and that kind of thing. And I am so pleased that it's got a lot of Fallout 4 and a lot of Fallout 3 and a lot of New Vegas in it. I understand, I wish there were human characters that could tell a story, and I'd like to fall in love like I did with Kate, but it's not to be. You can't have it all in 3 years, I don't think.
So Phil, tell me the aspects of Fallout 76 that you see influenced by Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas.
Well, I'm not a super duper expert on 3 or New Vegas, really, but I would say this refocusing on crafting to me feels like it comes from New Vegas. In fact, I think it's more extensive than I remember New Vegas being in terms of
the weapon repair system. You mean
weapon repair and the need to, like we were growing adhesive with our adhesive farms in Fallout 4. I mean, it's that on steroids with 76. It just seems like I'm if I don't plan a significant part of my day hunting and trapping and then I'm pretty unsuccessful when I go foraging into the more difficult locations.
What's hunting and trapping? What are you doing?
Well, as we all, I think, we've been discussing on Facebook, you're always looking for springs and gears and that sort of stuff, screws. On one day I'll go out and look for that sort of stuff. Then the next day I'll go looking for beasties. and have a carnivore day. And then the next day I'll, go out onto the agricultural center, get some fertilizer, add some more crops. And, that's, I get almost as much fun out of that as I do killing things.
Are you doing crops at your camp, or are you doing them just there in the ag center?
I'm doing them at my center, at my camp. I'm on the 4th iteration of my camp. All the 3 preceding times it got nuked by whatever the process is of placing me on a server.
Really?
Yeah.
I've only ever seen, I think, two nukes the whole time I played.
Oh no, I'm sorry, not nukes launched by from one of the silos. No, I mean, where you pop into the world
and then someone's taking your place.
And someone's taking your place. Yeah.
In fact, I had one where I popped into the world and there wasn't anything in my place, and my camp wasn't there either. In order to get my camp back, I had to place it somewhere. I had a comment about farming also, and this may just be the place where I did it. There's a lumber mill just south of Vault 76, and I had placed a camp there, and I started working on an adhesive farm. And the problem I had is, seems whenever you go back to your camp, there's a wave of whatever the locals are that come and attack you right at that point, or they're already in the process of it when you get there. And the problem I had was they kept destroying my crops. And even though you can go to your camp and do a one-click, repair your camp, you have to have the stuff. And if you're not always carrying around fresh vegetables that haven't rotted yet, you can't restore your farm easily. So it like I said, it might have just been an aspect of where I had my camp or something. But a lot of times I had, just creatures running through it, and I don't know if they were destroying it or not.
I was looking in the build menu today, and defense had little fences.
Right. Yeah, that may just be.
Will those fences actually keep your crops from getting damaged, or what are those for? Is that what they're for?
They might. Yeah. I don't know.
I think that's what they're for, Andrew. I've tried to put them around my crops, and it seems to be working because they would. For me, it was super mutants, and then those little Chinese robots, the little swearing green thingy robot guys.
Those are awesome.
I googled it just before the show. I thought, well, I got to figure out what it is they're saying, but so far, no one that I could find anyway has translated whatever it is they're saying so angrily. But yeah, I put up the little barriers, and that seems to be helping because they would invariably take 3 or 4 of my crops each time they'd come.
Yeah. Well, I've just found exploring, you do find a fair amount of adhesive if you go through enough empty buildings.
Man, everyone's saying that in the group, like, oh gosh, I have so much aluminum, I have so much adhesive, and Andrew's over here, where the fuck is the aluminum? Where the fuck is the adhesive?
So true.
Go to the hospital, get the bed pans or whatever.
Well, none of us said that you found much in any one place.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
You got a range kind of far and wide, but stuff does respawn, so you could farm some every day from an area if you know where there's show up. I'm not sure how random it is.
I'm level 22. And I've been playing, as much as I can with, a kid in the house and whatnot. I've been doing nothing but powering through the main quest, and I have 0 gauge of how far I am. Like I can't tell. Like if I'm a quarter of the way through, 80% of the way through, I have 0 idea.
That's the best part, though. That's what's exciting about it. No one knows.
It's weird being told stories by dead people.
It is a little weird.
It is weird, and I keep going places during quests expecting to find people. Like, no matter how many quests I do in this game, I'm like, awesome, I'm going to go to the airport and I'm going to talk to somebody, and then I realize it's all dead bodies, and I'm sad every time, even though I know What's
You can find a
yeah.
you can find a note pinned to someone's lapel.
Yeah.
Well, there is one quest that I've been on where the person you're supposed to find is still alive, or at least he's supposed to be, but he's not the man he used to be. If you guys know which one.
Oh god, is your Robo Brain?
Oh. Oh, Robo Brain.
There definitely are Robo Brains.
Well, somebody has to say it. I hear dead people.
Oh, there you go.
It's true.
Does the Robo Brain hit on you? That's the question I need answered.
Ow. Ow. Ow.
Basically.
My character's been out of the vault for 2 weeks, and he's looking for some romance. He's a little bit depressed. He thought, in Fallout 4, I was able to go out and do some dating, but my guy just keeps finding dead people, and I said it on Facebook. The ladies of the scorched breed are starting to look more interesting to him.
I mean, to be fair, you were dating drug addicts in Fallout 4, so that's not that big of a.
Yeah, having a green stone in your eye socket is not necessarily a bad thing, I guess.
I do miss Preston. I'll say it. It's fine.
Well, you don't have to anymore, evidently.
That's right. Does anybody know what platform Fake Preston plays on?
Nope.
No.
But we know he exists. I've seen a couple articles saying there was a guy out there cosplaying Preston.
Man, so smart. Why did none of us think of that?
Well, we need to find a Lydia.
No. I hate Lydia. To my core.
I'd like to find Gary myself, but
How did he do, Preston? Is his outfit available in the stupid Atom store thing?
No, I think he just used just other clothes that are similar. I did see a picture of him in one of the articles I saw.
That's great. Clever fella. Good job. Good joke. Ray, what have you been doing, man?
I've just been trying to learn the mechanics of it.
Yeah, it's a little different, isn't it?
Yeah. So, starting to get the hang of it. Melee is definitely a lot of fun in this game. And the VATS for Melee works really well.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think VATS works well in general. I mean, I don't know why people think it has to freeze time. It's just an aiming device to me, and it works really awesome, I think.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm not entirely certain how the VATS works in Fallout 4 for guns.
What, haven't used it?
I never use it.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to crops, I can't help but think of my response to Blake Abernathy. Digging the dirt all day, that's not for me.
Yeah.
So you just find adhesive where you go.
Yeah.
What's your nourishment like? Are you making soups? You cooking? You don't seem like a homesteader to me. So you just eat what you find, or what?
Yeah. I don't really mess around with any of the meat that you pick up. About the only thing that I've cooked is red stag steaks.
For carry weight.
Yeah.
The meat rots faster than you can eat it anyway.
That's true.
It's a little better when you cook it.
And I've picked up a bunch of bobbleheads and a few magazines and haven't used a single one of them.
Yeah, and they weigh like a pound a piece too.
Yeah,
the bobbleheads do.
Yeah, they're all doing that.
Jamming up my my stash box.
Yeah.
Definitely. What's that?
I used one on accident.
Oh.
Yeah. Me too.
Oh, is that your
I'm-
character name?
I'm just hoping there's going to be a bobble display stand at some point.
That's
I
good.
think I have about 8 of them now in my stash. And I'm just waiting for some display capability because it's weird to me. I don't really care for the things that only last a little while because, like I said, I'm kind of slow. So, I take it, and by the time I'm actually doing something that it would benefit me, it's already worn off. So I'm just going to put them on display.
Yeah, I'm like that with be it bobblehead or magazine. Or chems. I don't take many chems either.
Yeah, I wonder why they made the decision that you can't pick stuff up in this game and move it around. It kind of puts a kibosh on decorating, other than just slapping a poster on the wall or something.
Okay, I haven't really played with that. Explain that further.
In Fallout 4, you could pick stuff up off the ground and move it. A lot of things. Like if
not just in your build area, but just anywhere.
Right.
You mean? Yeah.
Right, just anywhere you came across a bottle, you could grab it and move it and drop it somewhere else.
Yeah.
And you can't do any of that in here that I've found.
I wonder if it has something to do with when you move something, everyone else on the server's got to see it that way. I wonder what
That could be.
Oh, that's great.
how that works,
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. I want it to be, I know this is not how it is, but I want it to be when I'm on the server with my friend and I have to pause on my Pip-Boy to drink some water. Like, from my point of view, it just has them looking at a Pip-Boy, but I wish that it actually showed you drinking water or something.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That'd be really cool.
Or eating your soup, or
eating, rad stack or raw meat. It was like something.
Squirrel on a steak.
Yeah.
I saw somebody playing in third person with the cannibalism perk.
I did too. It's so weird.
It's so weird. It's like, oh my gosh, I think I got it, and I had to eat somebody as part of a quest or part of somebody.
Attaboy.
Really?
Yeah, but I didn't think about going into the third person to watch myself do it, so I missed that chance.
Okay, I just got that card today because I heard Leon mentioning it in the group how it is. He's doing, I believe, a combination of cannibal and is it cannibal or cannibalism? What's the perk?
It's cannibalism.
Cannibalism and lead belly. So he was trying to be able to eat to regenerate health, but not gain rads by eating, radiated raw gross meat.
Mm-hmm. Somebody I was listening to, I think it was one of the Vault Boys. They were saying they were doing drink all the liquor and do cannibalism, and that took care of most everything they needed.
Really?
Just chug the liquor. What sort of buffs do liquor do? Because I haven't really, I'm not a chems. I'm not a drunk guy. Like what? And I know what they did in Fallout 4. Do they do similar things in this game?
I believe so. And plus, when you get addicted, you do have some minuses too. But
oh yeah,
you can compensate for those in other ways.
Well, there's another aspect that is similar to New Vegas is that you gain buffs, but also have negatives to sides,
right?
Like the mutations and stuff. What are the good mutations you guys have run into?
0.
Well, when Sarah and I were playing, I got the marsupial.
It was super cool.
Is that jumping high or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched Ray jump for like 5 full minutes.
Yay!
It was super fun. It actually really was. And then we'd run places. He's like, "Oh, I wonder if I could jump over this." And it was really cool. I could see him jumping like hella high. It was fun.
I believe it was Jess, but someone brought up in the group, I think Jess, said that if you can gain multiple mutations, evidently, which I have yet to do. I've only gained one mutation at a time. But she said if you gain that one and then combine it with the bird bones, which makes you fall slower.
Oh.
Interesting.
You can basically sort of float, fly, hover type stuff.
Like you're walking on the moon.
Yeah, bounding.
Whoa, that's cool.
That'd be really sweet. I want to try to get that combination at some point. But in order to do that, you got to get that one perk card. Everybody remind me what it is.
Starch genes, maybe?
Starch genes, that's one, right? You can stick a mutation. And there's another one that you can do too, I believe, that has something to do with that. I forget what it does, but about retaining mutations. But
Yeah, I have a very, as far as holding on to mutations, I'm going to have a hard time because I've just naturally hit the rat away before I hit, the bed. And, so that I'm fully powered up. And so I was having fun with the marsupial and then got back to my camp and crashed and, oh, shoot. I got rid of it with Radaway.
Yeah, I think those of us that have played a lot of Fallout 4, we have some old habits that we're going to have to break, that maybe new players don't, because that this is their first game, their first way of doing anything. But yeah, I'm exactly the same thing. I got Egghead, I think, for a little while, and it was pretty cool. Yeah, it made me a little bit smarter. And then, of course, I got back to my camp, and as I have my little routine before I go to bed, and I took Radaway, and there it was gone.
Who has the better advantage playing this game for the first time? Someone who played Fallout 4 or someone who plays a lot of MMOs?
Ooh, good question.
I would think Fallout 4 because
I would think Fallout.
You know more of the
for sure.
more of the mechanisms.
Yeah. However, does anybody else keep trying to quick save over and over? Keep trying to quick save, and it just takes me to my map, and it's so annoying.
I'm like, oh fuck, Scorch Beast, quick save. Oh no.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Doesn't work.
I hate it when you die that you can't do the quick save because you start like a quarter mile back from where you were. You can't ever like quick save around the corner from where you died. It's always like, well, fuck, now I got to start on the edge of the cell and run all the way back to where I was.
After you get over the initial panic of where the hell am I?
I find my little lunch bag of goodies.
Bag of death, I call it. Yeah, my death bag. You know what I've been doing, Andrew, is when I get that sense that I'm not going to make it, I start running backward, because otherwise the game will put you right back in the middle,
exactly where you died. You
exactly where you died, and if you were surrounded by 6, I don't know what, rad scorpions, and you only managed to kill 1, and now you're dead. If you don't get away from those bad guys, you're going to be in a death loop. There's
been plenty of times already I've been like, well, kiss that bag goodbye.
Yeah.
Me too.
I'm not even trying anymore. Get the bags. Yep. If I have some really good loot, I'll go home and dump off my stash, or go to a train station or a gas station and drop my stuff off before I go anyplace really risky, because I don't really want to find my death bag anymore.
My death bag.
Right. I spent a lot of time shuffling stuff back and forth because I'm perpetually overburdened.
Yeah.
Me too. I finally did like a rage selling session. Like, I'm so angry at my carry weight that I like sold a bunch of very valuable things for like not very much at all, just because I was like, fuck this carry weight. I was like, I'm so angry. And I think I made a mistake. And that's one thing. That's another thing about the quick save, is that your decisions are fucking final in this game. You cannot be like, oh, I want to test out and see what this does. Oh, that was a bad idea. Oh, let me go back a save and redo that. You cannot do that sort of testing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
Your decisions are final. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. I mean, it's awesome.
It is very survivally. I mean, it's like, I've tried to play Fallout 4 in survival mode, and it just seemed like too much work. I mean, I tried, but it wasn't any fun anymore.
Pat only does survival. Like, I don't see how he does it.
I don't. It's just, it took too much of the fun out of the game for me. But this is like, I don't know. I think they got it just right. it's you can never quite relax, even in your own home.
No,
You
even
know.
while you're sleeping, you have to sleep with the one eye open. And,
It's true. It's true. Yeah.
And the turret on your roof. You know, you just can't ever relax.
Hmm.
And,
Yeah. Or
and-
7 turrets on your roof if you're really doing it right.
max up. Yeah. That's how I destroyed my first camp, I think, is because I put like 6 turrets around the perimeter, and I was like, why can't I put this corn anywhere? Oh, my build limit is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hit my build limit really quick. I don't have a lot of stuff, built in my camp, but as soon as I started building turrets, it just maxed out.
Well, you're not a farmer anyway. You don't homestead, so it doesn't matter if you have a large build area. You just
Yeah.
you just need to protect your stash. That's all you need to protect. You can do that at a train station anyway.
Yeah, and I did find a good use for the fence that you guys put around your gardens and stuff like that. You just take one piece and just set it out in front of it, at the edge of your build limit, and everything attacks it. And so they're sitting there attacking your fence, while all these turrets are raining lead on them and wiping them out. It's a lot of fun.
That's really
That
good.
is genius.
It is genius. That's amazing.
I
that's
had
good.
really set it up because I was initially in a spot that they were getting too close, and so I put it up to to kind of slow it down and give the turrets a chance. And all of a sudden, I see these dogs, biting the fence. I'm like, huh, that's interesting. So then I tried moving it further away, and they went and then it started attacking the fence.
Great. That's really cool.
Wow.
Great tip. That's a great tip.
That's
And you
Great
said,
tip.
what other, Ray? You said you had another build trick, like you had a ladder thing, but you're up on the second story with shutters or something. What are you doing there?
So my house is a small base, and then when you go in to the upstairs, you can slip into build mode and put the ladder in storage. And so now that any enemies that come attack your camp can't get upstairs.
Your fence.
Because you've taken the ladder away. You can run around. I've got boards around the perimeter where all my turrets are set up, and so I can run around out there, or I can sit in. I've got shutters on all the upstairs walls, so I can sit up there in the shutters and pick stuff off from up there.
What do you guys find attacks your settlement, or not your settlement, your camp most? Is it the same thing repeatedly, or do you get a varied attacker, and is it based upon location?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes to all three, I think.
Yeah, it definitely depends on where you're at. So right now where I am, up in the far north corner of the map, I get dogs, super mutants, and the commie robots.
I love that you call them commie robots. I don't know why you do, but it's funny.
Well, that's what they are.
What?
They're Chinese.
The little robots with the stars on them.
With the red communist star on them? Yeah, those guys
That hand out the propaganda posters.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. My world history.
They're Phil.
Not fantastic.
Phil, you were saying you're doing a Google search right before the show?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what they were saying. And because I thought, by now, I'm sure there's plenty of Mandarin and Cantonese speakers that play Fallout 76. Someone must have listened to what these little guys are saying and translated it, but so far, nothing. My daughter speaks Mandarin, so I'm going to have her come and listen and see if she can figure it out.
Oh, good. I was gonna say I know a couple Mandarin speakers. I'll see if I can.
Yeah. I mean, they really seem to be saying something. It isn't just grunts and groans. They're like shouting orders at each other or cursing each other. Yeah,
they're angry. Whatever.
They are angry.
Like the Norwegian ghouls on the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Upside down boat.
Yeah, exactly. I know the Scorch occasionally say a few words you can recognize.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes it's kind of sad, Like one said, I think it's when I killed him, he said, "Oh, I was going to make it," or something like that. I thought, "Oh, jeez,
Aw.
I feel bad."
I was coming to you. I hear you're looking for a cure for this. Help me.
Uh, he needs to bring a white flag so that we can identify him from the baddies. Because
Mhm. Mentioning the red stars on the commie robots makes me wonder why some of the buildings have red stars on them. So I'm wondering if that's a provincial thing or whether that's
Yeah, I
a
haven't noticed that.
these people have been accused of being commies.
Oh.
good.
Well, and they're big and very decorative, so
Yeah.
it's hard to imagine that it's just somebody labeling them that way.
Is it only certain areas of the map, or do you see that all over the place?
I
I've
feel
seen
like
it
I've
all
seen
over.
it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to pay better attention. See, I'm so narrowed in on the zeroed in on the main quest that I'm not even noticing any of these ancillary side things that people are talking about, and I'm not running into the interesting monsters as much either as other people. Like, I really faced my first Scorch Beast today, and Alex had to come to my rescue. Have I mentioned Alex?
I don't think so.
Oh, is that the friend you made that's a high level?
Yeah, is Alex? Is it Alex? No, I'm sorry if it's not your name. I'm pretty sure it is. Fairly new to the group. Been playing with me a couple times now, but he is just around a level 100 or so,
Holy
Mhm.
cow.
and it kind of sucks because I run in and I'm like, "Hi, I'm level 22 over here." Hello. And like he's battling literally 14 level 70 bloated, glowing, ghoulish, scorch monsters. Some, like horrible monsters. And I'm like, I'm gonna run up here on top of the hill and try to hit you with the long shot sniper rifle. I'll be over here. Have fun. Good luck. And like, I try to get a shot in on as many different ones as I can. So when he inevitably clears the field, I get a little bit of XP for each one that he kills.
Right.
Yeah, man. But thanks for coaching me through that stuff. It's just I can't battle those things. He was spawning some really high level stuff, and I think Jess deciphered. Now she knows every damn thing about the game. Jess was saying that it depends on who steps into the cell first, what level of bad guy will appear. Like if Alex stepped in
Okay.
first, then the bad guys would be to his level. But if I was 10 feet ahead of him and I stepped in first, then it'd be more level 20.
Interesting.
Pardon me if I didn't interpret that correctly, Jess. I think that's what she was saying. I could be incorrect about that. Phil, did you read that?
Yeah, I did, and I'm just amazed at how much she knows about the game. At first I thought, oh, she must be a Bethesda employee because she knows so much about the mechanics and dynamics and all that good stuff and the rules that the game follows. But she's just sussed it out from playing and making notes, and it's
I've watched
amazing.
a lot of videos too.
And why? Yeah, and she also reads the Unix news groups too. I think where a lot of good stuff is discussed
Oh
about.
my goodness.
Yeah,
That's great.
That's
And her
amazing.
map. Did we discuss it last week? I don't believe we did. The wall in her den
Right.
is now a huge fucking map of
Yeah.
Appalachia. The Fallout
So
76.
jealous. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah,
she just
it's
made
beautiful.
She just made it from getting screen grabs and putting stuff together.
Wow.
But the really funny part of that is when we were all playing Minecraft together, she was also the person who built the huge fucking Minecraft map in the Minecraft world of the Fallout map. It was really funny. She
Jen
likes
the,
really big maps.
Jen the cartographer.
Oh yeah, she's in cartography. Wonderful.
The other thing about high level people and them bringing baddies with them, I think that's how I ran into a high level. We were cooperating. We didn't make a team or anything. In fact, I don't think I had my headphone on at the time. Anyway, this high level person was there along with reasonably high level mole men, which were kicking my ass.
Yeah, those guys are not joking around, but they have lots of shotgun shells. I find I like to fight them because I like to use the shotgun. So
Mm-hmm.
get those shells at the end.
Yeah, I went to. There's a place where there's an old prison, and you tend to find combat shotguns and combat rifles there. So that's a good place to scavenge.
Yeah. I also need to go to hospitals for the aluminum. That's evidently so plentiful that people are just making aluminum angels in the ground. Adhesive. They all have adhesive halos. Aluminum angels with fucking adhesive halos, you guys.
To be fair, Lee and I did go on a search for aluminum last night, if it makes you feel
Tell
any
us
better.
about it. Oh gosh, you guys played Inventory Madness for a while. Tell me about that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys, can I brag on Lee for a minute? Because he literally has everything you can imagine. It was super cool. He just like showed me, just tell them about all the cool stuff you have, Lee. Like, he has so much cool shit.
Well,
He's got
I
the
filled
guitar.
up the stash, and that's 400. And about the time we were hanging out, I realized, oh, I'm carrying 800 pounds of shit.
Yeah.
And
We
it's
did go
like,
places very slowly.
Yeah, we go very deliberately.
and it's
Yes.
like I told her, I said, she said she was running low on ammo. I said, what do you need? And she said, 308. I said, God, you find 308 on all the scorched? And she goes, no, I don't. And I go, here. Oh, I was trying to make a nice even number, but with the slider, you know, here, have 390 rounds. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got thousands of 308, I think.
You guys,
It's a common one. But I
give them all to me.
because I have so much of it because I use it with my hunting rifle, which I like. It's a fairly powerful rifle if you've got different what's that called? Rifleman. If you've got rifleman going, you know, your hunting rifle can be fairly powerful. Except for you only get 5 bullets, and then it shoots so slowly that you
Yes,
just
it
like,
does.
oh fuck this thing. I gotta switch to a different weapon and run closer. It's just I'm not good sniping, guys. I'm not patient enough. But I am level 15 in agility, and I have some sort of chest piece that gives me better sneaking and like a lot of different other things with stealth, and a perk card that makes it harder to see and for people to see me when I'm in the dark. It's
Nice.
good, yeah. And then I had some what's it called? We were talking about mutations. I had one mutation that gave me the +4 agility. Was that the bird bones? That must have been bird bones. Yeah. Give me the +4 agility. I'm like, I was at level 19 agility, and then you take the agility bobblehead and get up to 20.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That's ridiculous. That sounds so Andrew.
I'm doing
yourself.
I'm doing max agility, max perception. I think I'm up to level 5 or 6. No, maybe 6 or 7 in perception. I'm gonna do the Supreme VATS build that I always used to do in Fallout 4. I always fall back on that stupid VATS build I do in Fallout 4.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
I have to with VATS. I'm so. You guys were saying, Phil, you're saying like the weapon repair is like sort of a toss back to New Vegas. I think it's much too fast. They need to slow down the rate at which things degrade in this game. I don't remember how quickly it happened in New Vegas, but I don't feel like it was anywhere close to like.
Well, and I think the thing that's different is in New Vegas, and I think also in 3, you could combine 2 guns, on your person and use one,
field,
to repair the other on the fly. And with 76, you've got to come back, or you've got to find a weapons workbench or go back to your camp to do the work. And
Yeah.
you know, it's a more drawn out process. You've got to scrap the old gun. What's cool is when you scrap it, if there were any special capabilities it has, it unlocks that capability the next gun you build.
That is interesting.
It might.
Oh, it might. It's
seems
not
almost-
guaranteed.
No, it seems almost random because, like, I've picked up a weapon with a scope before and scrapped it and got like a stock mod. You know, you don't necessarily get
I found that
what you see on it. I don't think.
I've scrapped like 5 or 6 like different normal pipe rifles that are all the same, but like the mods you get from them those seem produced randomly.
Mhm.
When it, yeah. like you're saying.
Okay. I haven't really studied it enough, so yeah, that's good. That's good to know.
No, I don't understand so much of this game so far. Like I'm just head down through the main quest. I'm not messing around with a lot of the mechanics, so there's lots of stuff different and new, and I don't understand yet. That people are like, oh yeah, you don't realize like I just kind of realized the other day you can't sell ammo. I've been collecting ammo for the sole purpose of making caps this whole time, and
Same.
Yep.
like wait,
Yep.
what?
I'm so annoyed. What am I supposed to do with this stuff?
Give them to people who need them, but who needs 308? Sarah, I guess. But
I need 308.
What did you do with the last bunch I gave you?
No, I'm gonna hoard it. I'm still using yours, Lee.
I had all this 10 millimeter, and I thought, what am I going to do with this? But then I picked up a 10 millimeter SMG that had, I can't remember what it's called, but I think 30 or 40% of the bullets you fire cause burning or flaming damage.
Yeah, I picked that up too.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
I can't remember where I picked it up as well. I can't remember the name of it either.
That's a legendary effect then?
It's a legendary. Let me go to my stash box. I can find it.
Speaking of those, what great legendary effects have we come across? Have they carried any of your favorites from Fallout 4, and are there any new ones that you like?
Yeah, I haven't picked up too much. I mean, you get there's one that you get following the quest line for the responders, but I had when Sarah and I were playing, somebody nuked the Greenbrier, and so she had to take off, but I went ahead and went over there, and ended up sniping a festering, glowing, bloated ghoul, and he came chasing after me, but I kited him right into an Assaultron, a Mr. Gutsy, and a Sentry bot, and so these robots all just annihilated him. So I ran over, and one thing is if you don't kill the enemy, there's a chance you won't get any loot off of them.
Right.
And so I made sure that at the as he was starting to hit his last little bit of health, I just got a gun that had a high rate of fire and just unloaded it on him. So I'd make sure I got the kill, and ended up getting a legendary Ripper. The only problem is it's a level 40 weapon.
Right.
Oh.
And so it's like, I'm never going to see that high of a level.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen.
That is true.
Time to restart a character, Ray?
Well, I mean, the only reason I'm at level 21 right now is because I'm waiting until the round table to start my next character.
That's great to see that discipline out of you.
That is kind of annoying. Those were some of the valuable items that were lost in the great rage sale of 2018.
The great rage sale.
Yeah, where you knitted 13 caps.
Yeah.
Oh, my nipple hats ready to go.
Wait, What?
The what?
Oh yeah.
In the Atom Shop, there's a big pink floppy gardener hat.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
that's right. I did
It looks
see you
like
in a picture of that.
nipple and areola, as Victor pointed out.
That wasn't my first thought, but I can see it now.
Yeah, I did. I was like, I don't see it.
Oh my.
I'm
What
not
have
sure.
you guys been buying in the Atom Shop?
The only
Poses.
I bought a race car bed. That's the only thing that I've bought so far,
That's
and
hilarious. That's great.
it is so cool. I sleep in it. Has anybody? Maybe it's just me, but in Fallout 4, when the night got too creepy, and I was, too many things were jumping out at me, and I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. I'd go back home and I'd sleep for 8 hours, and the sun would come up. And this game doesn't have that. You sleep and you snore and you rebuild your health a little bit, but unless you have a lot of patience, you're not going to just sit there and watch your person snore until the sun comes back up.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, and
yeah,
you die of hunger and thirst before you did.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you don't eat and drink every 15 minutes in this game, you're gonna die.
So I got a race car bed just to kind of give me that, comfortable feeling. I can't bring a teddy bear to bed, but I do have my race car bed, so that helps.
That's cute. That's great.
Ray, what you said just reminded me of my favorite quote from the Blazing Saddles movie, and that was when the sheriff first meets the drunk in the drunk tank. He says, "Man, if a man drinks like that and doesn't eat, he's gonna die." And the response from the drunk is, "When?"
Yeah. Gene Wilder.
Yep.
One of my all-time favorites. Yeah. I read somewhere that he agreed to do the movie if now I can't remember the director would direct his screenplay that he was working on called Young Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that cool? So he started in
Really
Blazing
cool.
Saddles, and then went on to do Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, I think I read that recently too. There's been it was an anniversary of for Blazing Saddles recently, and
That's
there were a
right.
bunch of articles about it.
So Andrew, you can probably guess what I bought at the Atom Shop. Absolutely nothing.
I was that.
Couldn't think of
Dang it.
the damn thing.
I almost said it. Almost said it.
Ray doesn't give a
Dang it.
fuck about clothes.
Nope.
He doesn't build anything.
I was tempted by the Nuka-Cola stash box.
I like the space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want if somebody was selling the plans for a storage box, I would probably buy that. But yeah, no, I haven't really, gotten into photo mode, so I don't have any poses.
Could you imagine Ray posing around, strutting his stuff?
I don't know where you get it, but in some of the videos I've seen a tinfoil hat that looked pretty sweet.
Nice.
Nice.
I have got my straitjacket.
Straight jacket. That's cool. We find
I
a
found that in a
hospital.
hospital or an asylum or somewhere.
Yeah.
Might
So
have been in the hospital in the prison.
I did pose for pictures with Sarah.
I was about to say, I
oh,
did
that's
force
nice.
him to take pictures with me.
That's great.
Good job.
Sarah. Like, we're pulling his ear. Come over here. You're like licking your thumb.
Fixing his hair. Yeah.
Smudge off your cheek.
Ray knew
put
what he was getting into.
Oh yeah.
Going with me.
So what outfits are you wearing, Ray? If you don't care, what do you wear if you don't care?
The greaser jacket and jeans.
And that's great that you can just wear freaking anything over your armor in this game. That is a great bonus, I think.
I like that.
A little illogical, but
So
well,
I
the rules
did,
about what you could wear under armor were always weird anyway.
yeah.
Sorry.
But I have unequipped the leather armor that I had that was gave you the auto stim pack whenever you drop down to 25%, because I had like 20 stim packs when I got that, and I'm like, oh cool, this looks nice, and
Yeah.
threw it on, and within about 15 minutes I was out of stim packs.
exactly. And stim packs are not plentiful enough in this game yet, for me at least, that I can just burn through them like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I mentioned it. No, I had. This is another drawback of having old man disease when you're playing a video game, and the only time that you can play when you have a toddler at home is late at night, and then I'm cozy on my couch playing video games late at night. Well, Fallout 4, when Fallout 4, when you're just cruising around the wasteland and you accidentally happen to fall asleep on your couch while playing video games, the worst is you're just running into a wall and nothing's really happening here. But
the camera circles around your head.
yeah, exactly, and you wake up and nothing's happening really. In this game, when old man wakes up, it's like he's on the load screen, disconnected from server. Next time I load up, all my fucking stim packs are gone because I had that stupid card loaded and starved to death doing whatever I was doing. And it kept stim packing me and like more damage and stim pack, and I don't know, dying of thirst or whatever the fuck was I don't even know. I assume that's what was happening, hunger and thirst. Or I don't know, maybe there was mole rats came by or something. But yeah, it burned through all my stim packs. So fair warning, don't have old man playing video games on couch late at night syndrome and have that card loaded, the auto stim card. It's dangerous. It'll burn right through them all. You've been forewarned.
Yeah, I wonder if it'll go use the diluted ones and the super ones as well, or whether it just sticks to standard stim packs.
It just takes everything.
Okay.
Just shout out to everyone who's hanging out in the YouTube chat tonight. Hi, Sarah. And looks like Freighter's hanging out. Stuart. Hi, everybody. Wendy came by. Chris.
I don't see anybody in there.
No, nobody's in there.
Nice.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Okay.
So events have been interesting.
I've done one. That's all I've done. What have you been doing? I can imagine you paying attention to events, right?
Well, so an event kind of happened to me. I was in the Ashland area, and I got a notice that that there was an event going on, and you had to wipe out these rats. And for some reason, the rats just give me a really hard time. I mean, these rats are kind of a mess. But so I'm perched up on a rock in hiding, and I see about 12 rats go running by, and I'm like, oh crap, I got to avoid these guys. So I went, made a wide circle around the area that they were supposed to be in, and ended up running into some mole miners in a trailer somewhere, and so I'm taking out these mole miners, and all of a sudden I'm getting attacked. I'm like, what the heck? And so these rats had circled around, and I guess they were just running around in this general vicinity, and happened to come across me. And so they start tearing into me. And so there's way too many of them for me to take out, and I had too much junk on me to take a chance on dying. And so I kited them through the mole men and around, and then I noticed that there was a player had built their camp not too far away, and they had turrets and stuff like that. I'm like, sweet.
Nice.
And so I go running over there. Well, there's this person in power armor standing in the middle of this platform with a few turrets around and a bunch of workbenches. And so I just start running around their camp to try to give the turrets a chance to take out these rats. And evidently the person must have been going to the bathroom or something, because their character didn't move.
Ray.
Oh no! Oh
All of a
no!
sudden the rats started attacking him. I felt really bad, but I got away.
Yeah, you didn't care.
And so I waited and the turrets took out a few. I took out a few. The mole men took out a few. This character's laying dead, and their little bag is sitting on the platform. And
Then you took it and ran.
So I will admit I looked in the bag. Didn't find anything that I really wanted or needed. And so, went on my way and finished, looting the area and everything, and then noticed that they had respawned and, were back at their camp. So I went and waved and then used their workbenches to consolidate my junk.
For shame.
What's the etiquette there? What do you leave when you use someone's improvement facilities, their workbenches and whatnot? What do you leave? And
them alive.
Oh, nice, Ray.
A smile.
Is that etiquette? Are you supposed to leave them something?
We need to have some sort of because my headset conked out on me. I have no headset for playing, so I've just been running around doing the stupid thumbs up and heart and confused. But it's been doing pretty well. Yeah, so yeah, I think it's Alex Nino. Is that? Sorry if I'm not remembering your name, but he helped me a lot today. He gave me plans for acoustic instruments.
Oh, nice.
What am I going to do with that? Am I actually going to be able to build guitars and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh, nice.
You're gonna have a party at your place.
Yeah. That's going to be awesome. Can he? Oh.
Yeah, but he's over in the Xbox universe.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
He just dropped it for. He was trying to do the whole trade thing, and he was offering it to me for 0. And then I clicked on it, and it said it was like 332 caps. I was like, but he offered it for 0. It's like, I don't know. Maybe the trade menu was. Maybe I'm not understanding how it works yet. I haven't really done a lot of trading and stuff yet. So he eventually was just like, okay, dummy, I'm just gonna plop it in a bag and drop it at your feet and jump and point my gun at it so you can see what I'm doing. So eventually I was like, oh, okay. So I picked up the bag and it had acoustic instrument plans in it. So that'll be fun.
Pretty cool.
He was tossing me some good stuff.
I went up to Vault 76 just to try and get rid of some stuff. I put it in a bag, and I'm not sure if somebody has suggested it's range dependent, but I'd put down a bag and then I tried to put down another one, and the first one disappeared. And I don't know if it consolidated them or what. I didn't look at it that closely. But I was there trying to leave off some stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it goes away when you leave the server or whether it persists or what. But anyway, I was standing there in a power armor frame, and all of a sudden realized something's hitting me. And I turn around and there's this level 2 guy hitting me with his fists.
Nice.
Which of course, he can't do PvP at that point or anything. And so I just basically ignored him. He walked over and he looked in the bag. I think what he probably was a higher level player who had just started a new character or something. but
He's Ray.
but it was just funny. It was just funny because he didn't take anything significant out of the bag that I could tell. So it was just weird.
You guys, I just found something so cool.
Okay.
I
What?
want to tell you about it.
All right.
Am I allowed to tell you about it?
I don't care. Go ahead.
It's like, okay, you're all gonna think this is stupid, but it's like a it's like one of those maze things, like a hedge maze. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, they run through a maze of hedges.
Like the Labyrinthian in Skyrim?
I never made it that far in Skyrim.
The Shining, then, perhaps?
Right.
I've never seen The Shining.
The Labyrinth, maybe?
I prefer Harry Potter references.
Lewd
Hedge
bad right now?
Come on, Andrew, get with it.
I didn't remember there was a hedge
No.
maze in.
Seriously,
Harry
Sarah, you
Potter.
have to know the Labyrinth, though, right?
I
Lewd
do
and
know that.
bad?
Of course. Are you kidding me?
Hoggle.
Come on. Come on.
All right. Okay.
Anyway,
yes. You were saying you
I'm
found
running
a
around
hedge
one.
maze. Wait, there's a
Yeah,
mini
it's
hedge
super
maze
cool.
in Nuka World, right?
Yeah, it's called the Gauntlet.
Yeah, I was about to say the one in the Gauntlet.
But anyway, what about it? You found one, huh?
What's up?
I found one. Yeah, it's super cool. It's I couldn't tell you where it is because the map doesn't have any words on it.
Yeah. I
There's
don't
a-
think hedge maze is spoilery.
Nah.
What are some of your favorite locations you found, Sarah?
I don't really know. This hedge maze is really cool. There's a whole bunch of really cool old looking houses up here that are pretty cool to run through. They're pretty fun to run through. There's a prison somewhere that's fun to run through, but I can't tell you names of anything. So I'm the worst person to ask that question.
No, me too. I'm just
I
trying to
wish-
cover because I'm like, yeah, that one place. I think
Yeah.
it has a gold dome on top of it.
Yeah. So last night I get on and Lee's like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "I don't know. You know, I'm over here somewhere."
I think I'm at Notre Dame in northern Indiana somehow. All this.
Yeah, basically. And Lee's like, "Oh, I'm over by, Flingerville." And I'm like, "Okay, that's helpful. I don't know where that is."
That's
Flingerville. I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, it's Morgantown. She just has her own
Morgantown,
special name
yeah.
for things.
Yeah, it's true. And then he's like, "Do you see this on the map?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Do you see this on the map?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Do you know where Vault 76 is?"
Let's start from there.
Literally. I'm like, "Yes."
A
like,
common
"All right."
friendly reference, right?
It's
Need a
good.
common friendly reference. I've realized I've started to collect pictures of gnomes.
You had a good one I saw on the crack in the road.
That was so creepy.
Yeah, I led Sarah to where that was, and I said, just look down, and she freaked.
And that was so
scary, but
that was so weird because there was like a big gnome and then a little gnome.
Right.
And the little gnome had like a baby bottle.
It's a baby.
Yeah.
It's a little
He's in a
baby.
baby cage.
It's a baby gnome. Wow.
It's so
They-
weird.
They did have a walking stick.
Yes.
The baby gnome did.
Well, I found 5 or 6 gnomes all gathered together, and then there was another one who looked like he was burying Jangles the Moon Monkey. I posted it on Facebook, and I thought, this is so creepy. It's like 7 or 8 garden gnomes are like in a gang, and they're going around and beating the crap out of Jangles the Moon Monkeys and burying them. It was
that's classic Far Harbor. There's a bunch of those in Far Harbor.
There's some strange people at Bethesda. That's all I can say. Come up with this stuff.
Well, the things they do with teddy bears is just wrong.
Oh, no. Did you see that one?
What have you found so far, Ray? Ray, what teddy bears have you found?
So they've got a bunch of really weird looking teddy bears in 76.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's different kinds, right?
Yeah. You know, but they do all the general unspeakable things.
I found a garden gnome standing on the edge of a toilet, like he was using it.
Well, at least he's potty trained. That's nice.
Yeah. And I've seen teddy bears reading newspapers and stuff.
On the John.
No, this was just at a table.
Oh, apologies to the gnomes.
Well, you know, you got to stand in line. Wait.
Gnomes take a long time.
They get performance anxiety.
Seen any interesting graphical glitches like my my ghoul that was upside down stuck through the floor?
I haven't seen one in a very long time actually, but like the first few days I was playing, I used a melee weapon and hit a ghoul in the head, and his head was like 2 or 3 feet behind him, but connected by like a streak of like neck graphic,
Uh-huh.
and it was pretty cool looking.
somebody said they came across one like that like a second or third time, and so they took a picture of him hugging him.
Well, that was my buddy Stretch.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's he
didn't
keeps
remember.
showing up all over the place.
I didn't remember who posted it.
His head is about 6 feet above his body, and so I just thought, well, here he is. So I gave him a hug, took a picture. Eventually, Bethesda will fix these bugs, and then we'll miss them. So I thought, I'll take a picture of it.
What sort of stuff are you working on quest-wise, Phil?
I'm going completely out of order. I did some of the questline stuff, and then I got a little cocky and went to the bog and got my head handed to me about 6 or 7 times by various things, and so now I'm going back and doing. Yeah, because I you know, the thing is, if you don't follow the game to a certain extent, you don't pick up a lot of plans that you need to enhance weapons and enhance armor, or to get armor. And so you run a risk if you don't at least do some of the main quest line, so that it takes you to the places where there's rich, you know, rewards for accomplishing things. So I'm kind of like, I'm still getting my, what's it called, the excavator power armor. That's what I'm working on right now.
Nice.
But I'm at level 45. I should have done that a long time ago. So
long time ago. I have like 3 or 4 power armor frames, and not a single piece of power armor that I can wear yet. It's like I'm level 23 now, and they're all like level 40 and above. Like, what the fuck? When am I going to get a piece of armor that I can actually wear?
Yeah, Raider stuff is level 15.
Yeah, that's your ticket, is the Raider stuff.
Don't make me wear Raider power armor, you guys.
It looks pretty good, actually. Not bad.
I just got to. Is it a spoiler that the BOS is in this guy? It's not a spoiler. I just got to the area where the Brotherhood of Steel are, so I'm hoping that I get some sort of power armor. I don't know. Find some sort of secret or recipe or plan or something that helps me.
You want to know the answer? You want to know the answer to that question, Andrew?
I don't know. Well, I probably not. I don't know. I'm doing the main quest. The main quest seems to just here's this faction, and we're gonna do some stuff for them. Here's this faction, we're gonna do some stuff for them. Here's this faction, we're gonna do some stuff for them. Here's this faction, we're gonna do some stuff for them. Kind of what it feels like so far. But I was thinking about this the other day. Some people are having issues with the game because of storytelling through dead people, and this actually fits my play style almost perfectly. I've been playing mostly solo, and I haven't really missed. Like I think it feels a lot like Fallout 4 because the way I play Fallout 4 is I usually play with the volume all the way down on my television because when I game is when my child is sleeping and his like, you know, I got to be quiet. So I usually just have the volume all the way down and read captions anyway. So I don't feel like I was totally wrapped up into the storytelling because I usually didn't hear the voice actors and all that. I would just read the lines of the dialogue. So I guess I am missing a huge aspect of the game, a lot of people would say. But in general, I feel like it plays very similarly to Fallout 4 to me, and I don't really miss the NPCs because of my play style. Is I just kind of digest the objective and go do the objective. It's not I'm hung up on the reason the NPC giving me the plans. It's just the going and doing the thing is the fun part, not the why you're going to do the thing. If that makes any sense. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I think it makes sense to me. I'm feeling the same way.
And you mentioned that your headset was not working, but
yeah, I broke that.
Well, you could still use headphones and at least hear the game.
Yeah, I have been doing that, plugging earbuds into my controller every once in a while. I can hear stuff. But I do need to go out and get a new set, especially for the marathon on December 8th. We're not only doing a 12-hour podcast, we're also doing some streaming on Twitch. And I have an objective to try to get some people on Xbox together to try to stream live with me. But what I want to try to do is get 2 teams of 4 together. So I've rounded up 8 people, and we're going to try to get 2 teams of 4 all on one server to run around as a team of 8. I don't know if it'll be possible. It might take a damn long time, but we're going to try to get all 8 of us on one server together to go.
I've heard of people doing multiple teams like that.
Oh, nice. Good. I'm glad it's possible.
Hanging out together.
Because sometimes I'm just trying to join other people through the social menu, and it's just like, nope, server full. Waiting. I'm like, no, I'm not going to wait. I wish that instead of saying server full, they'd be like, okay, their server's full, but we're going to put you on this server, but when a space opens up, we'll let you know if you want to switch over at that point.
Well, you do go into a queue, but there's no letting you know later thing.
Yeah. So I just usually cancel them back out and just go play. Like,
one thing I'd like to be able to do is communicate with somebody who's on another server, whether you can get into their server or not. That way you could say, hey, what are you doing? Do you want to join me or do you want me to join you? And, be able to do that kind of stuff without having to go into their server to do it.
It'd be nice if they had a server menu where you could choose, like, oh, there's only 2 out of 24 people.
I don't know that that's that necessary, but I'd like to be able to or a text mode. When you click on them in the social menu, have a text mode option there where you could kind of like I am them.
Well, Xbox kind of does. It takes you to the messenger service of the Xbox, but that's clunky as hell with the controller. It's not like you. And some people are saying, "Oh, but you can do it on your phone too. You can have your Xbox app open on your phone and message back and forth that way." And I'm like, "No."
You can use a keyboard with the Xbox, can't you? I know you can with PS4.
Now you can use keyboard and mouse, but I don't know, was Fallout 76 got support for that? I think you have to have specific game support.
No, I was just thinking about you're talking about the message app.
Oh,
you can use a keyboard with that.
Plug a keyboard? Can I plug a USB keyboard into the back of the Xbox and will it receive that? And I can just type away in Messenger on that? Does that work?
I know you can do it with PlayStations. I don't know if you can do it with Xboxes or not. I would assume so.
Gosh, I've never tried that out. That's a good idea. Let me just plug my USB keyboard in there and see if that lets me type in Messenger, because that would be smart if that worked.
I wouldn't be too surprised. And when you look for a headset, get you a wireless one.
Why?
Because then you don't have a cable running across the whole friggin' room because you're back laying on your couch.
I've never found a headset that doesn't have at least a slight delay. I don't like wireless headsets. They always have a slight delay. It doesn't matter how much they brag about, oh, no lag, no delay. It's like there's always just a little tiny bit of, I don't like them. I don't know. I've had bad experiences with wireless ones. Do you like yours? Do you have wireless ones?
No, but I figured with a console where you got a TV across the room, it might be more handy.
Across the room, it's like 5 feet away from me. I have it in my little like man cubby. It's not even a man cave. It's like a man, man corner,
a man closet.
It's a man corner.
The economy version of the man cave. Yeah.
The one area of the house I'm allowed to like put up Christmas lights and.
It's Andrew's timeout zone.
Yeah. No, but it's literally 8 feet away from the TV's real close.
Yeah, that's not typical for gaming consoles from what I've seen.
Yeah, people usually have them across the room and stuff. You're right.
But with Xbox, oh no, I guess. Well, I don't know. With Xbox, can't you just plug the headset into the game controller?
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Well, there you go.
But
then it is a wireless headset if the controller's wireless.
Well, yeah. I mean, but there's a cable running from the headset to the controller.
Yeah.
So it's not technically. Who cares? I need to go buy a new one. I liked my Turtle Beach. I recommended them to Craig. Craig, I hope yours don't crap out after 3 years. I guess 3 years isn't a bad. No, I can't be like that. Consumer products are bullshit these days. You have to have products that last longer than 3 fucking years. I can't tolerate a 3-year thing. Should I bitch at them on Twitter or something? Be like, I have a podcast. We are going to revolt against you unless you get a refund on these headphones. I think bitching on Twitter is how you get things done these days, though, right?
It is the American way now.
I never got Twitter.
Can I speak to your manager?
You don't want to see a grown man cry.
Ray, what's your headset situation?
I've got on my gaming computer, I've got a Razer headset.
What's that mean? Like the old Motorola Razer phone?
Yeah, no, not like that. The Razer Gaming Company. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know anything about anything. I just walked into Best Buy and got the Turtle Beach set because.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was Pat or whoever else. Anyway, somebody recommended the Sades headset to me, and I've been really happy with it.
Ray, does yours have like flashing lights and cooling fans and stuff?
It's got lights, yeah.
The Sades has lights too.
The microphone doesn't have lights.
Yes, it does. Mine does.
Mine doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Lights up when he sings karaoke at home.
It's retractable. It slides in back inside the cans.
Yeah, mine's just on a stock.
Oh gosh, you guys. That's so nice. Hey, Sarah's in the group. She wrote in an email with some audio feedback, so I think we should check in and say hi to Sarah, see what she's gotten into in the game so far. Let's say hi to Sarah.
Sarah Saylor here with some more feedback for Fallout 76. With my last feedback, I wasn't able to give a whole lot of information because I hadn't got to play the game as much as I would have liked to at that point. After I had a situation where the game was supposed to be delivered to my house the day of release, and I waited, and UPS said I had it out for delivery all day long, and then I got a message from Amazon, where I ordered it from, that UPS tried to deliver, but the address was wrong. And come to find out, my husband had he had updated the billing information and forgot to update the shipping information. So we got that straightened up. I ended up getting it downloaded. I got to play it the day after release. And I still love it. I mean, it's not the typical Fallout experience. It's not, I mean, in that it's not the typical Fallout experience in a good way. I like that you're not constantly getting stopped by NPCs. Now, don't get me wrong. I love NPCs as much as the next person does. I love their stories. I think they're great. And contrary to popular belief, Andrew, in my final feedback for my roundtable character, I was not bashing Preston Garvey. I like Preston. I avoided him in my last playthrough because I knew that if I started engaging with Preston, I would end up getting sucked back into being in the Minutemen. And the idea, if you recall, is to play in a way different than what you normally would. I would normally play a Minuteman character. Anyway, I digress.
Best.
Back to what I was saying about 76. You're not constantly getting stopped by NPCs needing help or anything like that. The story is kind of what you make it. I mean, it's there and you can ignore it if you want to, and you can run around and you can shoot things and you can collect junk and you can build things, and I think that's a lot of fun. I'm not doing the main story quests, but I'm not really strictly following it. I'm just kind of running around, derping around, kind of seeing where it takes me. I started a new character after the beta because with that character, I was just trying to figure out how to, the mechanics of the game and how things worked and everything. I didn't put a lot of thought process in it. So with this character, like I said, really, really, really enjoying the game. I also wanted to say some things about the negative backlash that's going on about the game. I don't like YouTube reviews. I mean, I like YouTube videos and I think that they can be helpful, but I think that the problem with YouTube right now is people are relying on what a YouTuber says rather than going out and playing the game and finding out for themselves if they like it or not. I mean, and I think that's with a lot of things. It's not just with this game or games in general. It's with a lot of things. I have a 14-year-old daughter, and there are times whenever she can't make her own opinion up about things because a YouTuber's never talked about it before. So I think that that is a big issue right now with human people in general, is relying on other people's opinions before, or not even before, but without making up their own opinion. And I think, and like I said, this is just my opinion. I think that's where you get a lot of hate from, is relying on those reviews. Because if you read, comments, I love the comment section on anything, because you really kind of get an idea where people are and how they feel about things. But I think that if you read comments, like I was saying, you can see a lot of the same things being repeated, and some of them are problems. I haven't, like I had said on the Facebook group, I've not really ran into a problem with the stash limit. and I do hoard everything. I pick everything up. I scrap everything. One thing I do, I like to move my camp, and I don't necessarily like to keep the same camp setup that I originally had. So I scrap everything and I build again. So I do use a lot of resources doing that, and I don't scrap everything. Like my crafting benches and stuff, I don't scrap them. But as far as the camp layout and everything, I build it to whatever I'm surrounded in. I kind of make it to where it fits in there. And with that being said, looking forward to the bulldozer tool. I miss being able. I had one of the in Fallout 4. I had one of the scrapping mods to where you could scrap everything in a settlement, and I loved that because I think Shalina from that Fallout show and GameStack had. She and I have a common opinion, which is what happened to all the brooms? I mean, you pick up brooms all the time in the wasteland, and nobody's using them to sweep the trash out of the floor. I mean, come on, it's a little ridiculous. But anyway, I like things to be neat. But I do like the building mechanics in the game. I've done a lot of building since my last feedback. And I've built maybe 4 or 5 different camps, different locations. I like to have the cabin by the water. My last camp, I'm actually getting ready to start rebuilding. Every time I would spawn in or at my camp, I would end up in water and automatically absorb so many rads from being in the water, which was a little frustrating. So I'm trying to move those around, or I'm moving my camp around to keep that from happening because that was not cool. Another problem that I've seen a lot of people talking about online and in the group is griefing. And this is going to be, I know Andrew's not going to like this one. I brought this point up to Lee last night whenever we were kind of catching up and playing a little bit. It seems like most of the people that I see with problems are people playing on Xbox. And I mean, I've not done a scientific study. I've not done a poll or anything. That is my observation.
Let douchebags play Xbox.
I've not really experienced that in my gameplay. I've not seen people, being douchebags to other people. The closest thing that I came to seeing anything similar was I was doing the Feed the People daily event. And while we were waiting for the next wave of, can't remember if it was ferals or walrus or something to attack the machine, 2 guys decided to beat the shit out of each other. And then whenever it was time for the next wave to come in, they stopped fighting each other and started fighting the ferals. But I mean, that's the only PvP that I've really seen. It's the community that I have seen personally has been very friendly, very helpful. I was coming through Flatwoods, and this has been, I don't know, 4 or 5 nights ago. And I was, just derping around, or no, I might have been, I think I was working on the Overseer's Personal Matters quest, which I'm not going to do any spoilers, but oh my God, it's such an interesting story. And it makes me really sad. And I still have another holotape to find. And I'm not sure if I like where this story is going, but I'll leave it there. It's kind of heartbreaking. But I was coming through Flatwoods, and there was, I'm going to say a lady because they were playing, a female avatar. So there was a lady who was having some trouble with some scorch, and I help her take those out. And as thank you, she dropped it it was, I'm trying to think of what kind of gun it was. It was one of the pistols that shoots the round balls. And that is a pretty awesome gun. I mean, it, you know, very nice of her to drop it. She dropped ammo for it and everything. And, you know, it's just very nice. And then I've gotten to where if I come across somebody's camp and I'm like over encumbered or something and I stop and I use their stuff, I always drop something for them as a thank you. You know, just to be nice. You know, I mean, the idea of this game is to create a community to where we can all live in it together. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm not big on the whole PvP thing. It's, you know, it's not my favorite. I'm not engaged in it. Not saying that I wouldn't at some point, but I would rather, can't we all just get along, guys? Can't we all just get along? That's how I feel. And, you know, there's been some videos shared that just, I mean, it really, really upsets me. Like the video, I think Andrew shared it, and then I kind of went off about it on Twitter, which was the guy who is or the guys that were coming after people because he assumed they were gay. I mean, really? It's 2018. It's kind of disgusting, but I could get on my soapbox about that. It really, really upset me. Like I couldn't even watch the entire video. It upset me that bad. But anyway, just some of my opinions about things that are going on. I think that it's a great game and I think it's so much fun and I don't see myself getting bored with it like I did. I mean, I played Destiny 2 and I still like Destiny 2. But after a while I got really bored with it and then, you know, they murdered my favorite character. So I think I'm gonna leave things there. If you all run across the Mr. Veterinarian, Mr. Handy out in the Appalachia wasteland, he's quite adorable and you can't really interact with him. He'll greet you and everything. But if you just stand around him, I mean, he just does the funniest stuff. And he's got all these cute cats. I mean, he won't give them to you. And I really want to adopt him and the cats. And I don't see that happening. But here's hoping. I also want a pet liberator. Because they're cute. But, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. I think I've rambled long enough. And I'll see y'all in the wasteland, literally, because we can see each other in the wasteland now. Bye. Okay, so I wanted to follow up my mindless ramblings about Fallout 76 with another mindless rambling. I just wanted to say that I think that the ASA podcasting group is just an amazing group of people. I really, 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 really love being a part of it. I actually talk about you guys a lot because I talk about everything a lot, if y'all can't tell. But no, this is just a really awesome community, and I really started getting involved back whenever we had done the Twitter flash mob for Carrie. And I mean, just all of that really kind of, I'm not a overly emotional person. I get emotionally attached to, you know, fictional characters and everything, and of course my family, but that whole outpouring for Carrie and just how awesome everybody was. I mean, it honestly, swear to God, moved me to tears because everybody is just so awesome. And I think that this is what the Fallout community should be. And I think everybody should just, you know, keep doing what you're doing and keep being awesome. And, you know, maybe if we keep being as awesome as we are, some of the griefing that I had mentioned in the other recording, I I think that, it has the power to change the world. But anyway, I am once more going to cut this off. I will see you all literally in the wasteland. Bye.
Okay. I think she's
I
done.
love it.
Sweet.
No,
That should be our
Sarah,
motto.
it's because of people like you who stick around on our group that our group is the way we are,
Mhm.
you beget what you sow or whatever. We're cool to each other, so we're a cool group.
Don't be a jerk. That's it.
Yeah. It's pretty simple.
It's really not that hard. I think we've all
really
learned we've all learned how not to be a jerk. It seems like you have to make an effort to
And
be a
she
jerk.
was even saying that in the game. She now has an etiquette. Like I was talking about, what do you do when you interact with people? And like she said, she like leaves stuff with people, and I think it's cool that we're developing this sort of communication system and etiquette style. You know what I mean? Pretty great. She seems to like the building system. Cool. YouTube, she said people are too dependent on YouTube. I kind of agree. I don't know why, but I'm not a YouTube viewer. I'd rather read an article about something than watch a video about it. I have no idea what it is about me, but I think I absorb information better by reading than watching a video about it for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe I also just don't like YouTube videos I don't know why.
You don't like technology.
I am kind of a Luddite, even
Which
though I
is
have a
fine.
podcast.
Well, a lot of them have clickbaity.
All these
titles,
things I have in front of me, other people set up for me. So, yeah, you're right. And the negative news, even though that it's only a tenth of the amount, it spreads a lot faster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gets more
And
attention.
I honestly don't understand. I mean, I'm a Redditor, and I just don't understand. It's like the cool thing to hate on 76 right now over on Reddit, and it's kind of frustrating because I
Do
think
you
it's
ever
awesome.
change what you say over on Reddit sometimes?
Change? What do you mean?
Or like, so you're an editor on Redditor?
No. It just means I'm on Reddit. That's all that means.
Trying to make a stupid joke. Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Achievement unlocked.
Thank you. Take a bow. I'll step out over here. Sorry, I'll show myself out.
Yeah, I think there's a race to get reviews out, Andrew and Sarah, and when you're racing to get a review out, you only really have time to play the game for a few hours. And this game takes time to really appreciate some of the things that it has right. I mean, clearly there are some issues, there are some bugs. But I did a little experiment. I was supposed to get my Power Armor version on the 14th, and I checked, and I ordered it from Bethesda, and I checked, and it was going to arrive 3 or 4 days later. So I sent a email to Bethesda tech support, and within an hour, I got a free code. They said, "Well, we're so sorry. We're so sorry." And I thought
you were going to say they give you 500 free atoms for the fucking app.
No, that would have been okay too, but no, they sent me an actual game code. So anyway, my point is, I have two sons, 20 and 22, and they live on YouTube. I mean, that's their number one source of information. And sure enough, a week after the game is out, they're telling me, I'm telling them how much I'm playing and how much I'm loving it, and they're asking me why. What's wrong with you, Dad? Look at all these YouTube videos that are telling us all that the game really is horrible.
How dare you like something that the computer says that you're
exactly.
How dare you?
So my son came home for Thanksgiving, and I gave him the code, and we set up a second Bethesda account. And he was the most negative. He played for about 4 or 5 hours before he had to go back to college, and he really likes it. He really likes it. He's had to change his whole sort of feeling about the game because he actually experienced it. So I don't know. It's I don't get it either. I think people have to make up their own minds and stop listening to. I mean, I enjoy a good review. I like to listen to YouTubers, but
It's just like the nightly news. You can turn it off.
you can turn it off, and you can take it with a grain of salt.
Not enough people do.
No, it's true. It's true.
I 100% agree. I really wish that just in general day-to-day life people would try to form their own opinions more.
Yeah.
You know? Just take the time, figure it out for yourself. Whatever that opinion is, it's great as long as you formed it. So, and you know what? If you don't want to play this game and you want to be a jerk, that's fine. I'm happy. Go on your merry
No,
way.
that's not fine. Keep the jerks away from me. I don't like that.
No, I'm saying go on your merry way. Go do something else. It's cool. I'll play.
Yeah, go fuck off.
Yeah, basically.
Well, I don't know.
Sorry. Go
Oh,
ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say that you call it the master race, Andrew. Those of us that play on PCs.
No. The new master race is Sarah and I. We play on couches. The couches.
That's the new master race.
The couches
I'm
are the new
sorry.
master race. We
I don't play on.
Oh, sorry, Sarah. You broke up for a second. What'd you say there?
That again. Oh, you mean maybe the other Sarah plays on the couch?
Yeah. The Sarah Sailor. She
Okay.
plays. You
That's
play it, of course.
Yeah, you are the one and only.
The world famous game bed.
So I can just like sit in my bed and game.
So
Awesome.
you like to sit in your bed and game. You're hilarious.
Awesome.
No, Sarah Sailor and I, we're starting a new club. We're called the Couchers, and we are the new master race. So welcome to all you guys who sit on couches and play video games.
I like it.
Fantastic.
You mentioned delivery issues, Sarah. Ray. No, not Ray. Phil, you said you had some delivery issues as well. I've heard some other horror stories with the power armor helmet not lighting up. Are the eyes supposed to light up or something? But that's not working. Did anybody get that? I think Laura got ripped off on that. Her power armor helmet didn't work, and people are saying that there's some drama with the bag with the power armor edition. There's some like canvas bag or something. Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it looked like a canvas bag in the pictures, and they ended up swapping out a vinyl bag, which would have been fine if they'd told anyone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
It is kind of a cheesy bag.
Yeah. Is that the one that came with the figures?
No,
Well,
this was the power armor helmet had a
Just the
bag.
power armor helmet. Oh, the bag for the power.
Bag for the power armor helmet. Yeah.
What did the eyes light up? Is that the thing? Is that what the power armor helmet does? Do anything?
It's got a voice changer in it.
Ooh, a voice changer. That's cool. But the eyes don't light up.
I don't know.
Yeah. Speaking of eyes not lighting up, I fucking hate that when you are in power armor, your Pip-Boy light doesn't come on the frame if you don't have a helmet on.
Yeah, that's always been the case.
I know. I hate that. Let's do something about that.
Gosh. I was wondering why I couldn't turn my helmet light on, and now I realized it's because I took my helmet off.
You have no helmet.
Oh my god.
That's why we don't call him Lord Helmet.
No Lord helmet.
Another great movie, Spaceballs.
Yes.
Phil, you were mentioning you're getting lonely. How long do you think we find until we are reading articles about two people who actually fall in love? And in game, their characters are hanging out, and then they actually fall in love in real life.
Andrew, I bet you it's happening right now.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to bet that there are people that are. This feels to a certain extent a little bit like that movie, Ready Player One. And there's definitely a little bit of a get yourself out there, interact with people more so than any of the other online games I've played. So I wouldn't be surprised.
I haven't actually seen the movie or read the book. I probably should. But that's something we should totally add to the round table as your your IRL person who is your love interest in the game, where you team up as often as possible to be a couple in the game. Is that weird?
Yes, it's weird.
I think that's fun. Come on, it's like game dating or something.
Do you have
And-
to call it a love interest? Maybe we could just talk about friends that we make.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know MXR and his girlfriend have been playing some 76 together. They've posted a couple of videos about that.
They are funny. I
Oh,
watched
they
one.
are.
They're hilarious.
Yeah, they're just a really sweet couple from what I've seen.
MXR was a little bit negative about the game, but I think he's warming up to it too. So
Yeah. Yeah, like we said, you know, it's one of these things that if you're willing to live with or work around a few of the issues, it'll certainly grow on you.
Mm-hmm.
I found something today that was kind of interesting. There's a quest, and I guess it's broken. And without giving anything away, any spoilers, basically I guess there's a timer that is supposed to restart a character that gets killed, and it's not been working. And you go into this room and you bust through the door, and you're disappointed because you can't do what you came there for. Well, now there's a locked latch on the door, and the only way it got there is, I think Bethesda put it there as they figure out what's wrong with the mechanics of that quest. So they've
Smart.
so yeah, it's really smart. So you go into the room and you say, oh darn, I'm not going to be disappointed because I can't finish this quest because I can't open this door. So
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I haven't figured out how you do it yet, but you're supposed to be able to put locks on your doors on your camp.
Yep.
Maybe next time I go to my camp and open the door, there won't be a friggin' ghoul inside.
I ran into that issue where I was running past some place that had a what are those workbenches called that you can overtake? They're not settlements or encampments. I don't know. Those type of places where you can control and cap.
I think they call them public workbenches.
Public workbenches.
Yeah.
I ran past one before and I was like, oh, there's one thing. And then I ran past it again later and I was like, oh, that building wasn't there before. And I tried to go in and check it out and there was like a level 3 lock on it. So someone evidently with some cool power could evidently, if you have a higher level, you can build leveled locks on your doors too. Like that's pretty sweet. That's fun. I'd like everyone who's listening live in YouTube right now. ASA podcasting breaking news. The Fallout 76 character generator is now live on the website. You guys get first crack at it. Go please refresh 100 times, try to break it, see if any problems pop up, report back to us before December 8th. We're trying to see if there's any problems that pop up with it. All right.
Cool.
Are we going to call it a beta?
No, Ray, this is the stress test.
A 4-hour window here,
Yeah.
2-hour window there.
Download it for 6 hours, and then you're going to have to delete it immediately and download it for 6 more hours.
47 gigabytes every time.
No, then you're going to have to download another version of the exact same fucking game that'll also take 6 hours, but that will also fail. And then you'll have to download it again. All right? And then we're going to charge you double on your credit card. And the voice modulator won't work. But anyway, the character generator is live. Everyone run over there. Generate yourself some characters. Any new listeners out there, our website, podcasting.com. Click on the Fallout feed section, and then it'll just say Fallout 76 character generator. Click on that. It'll take you to a Google spreadsheet that'll have a base sheet, and you just need to wait 5-10 seconds for it to actually generate and randomize What you're going to find there is 1 through 50, all the levels that you're going to be signing up for when you do this character. And follow that as closely as you want to or not. We don't care. But the final numbers is the final character number build is really what you want to aim for on the bottom right hand corner. Will be your special attributes, and that's what you're aiming for. We've mapped it out to 50, and then Ray will of course get to level 50. His characters, he always does. But so we told you what special attribute you have to take each level and what the end should be. I don't know what else we told you on there. Maybe something like the places you have to capture, the settlement you have to hold. We'll give you your name, your sex, your camp zone, where you have to build your home, your faction, which faction you're going to be, what mutation you get if you want to try to hang on to a mutation as long as possible, what workshop you want to capture. Yeah, that'll be good. I think no, we'll do different events. I think a workshop that you want to try to obtain.
Yeah, I think that's what I called public workshops.
Specials, the public workshops. So go have fun with that character generator, guys. That's going to be the basis of our show on December 8th. We'll just have everyone hanging out in the YouTube chat and tossing out your names, and we'll toss you out a character. It'll be really fun. Speaking of which, we have a email here from Simon. He says, "Hey folks, can you please put me on the list for the new characters for Fallout 76, please? I'm not sure how much time I'll have to be able to commit to playing, but hopefully it'll be enough to keep up with everyone. Also, I'm Northern Ireland, so I'm not sure what the spread of different players in different time zones will be like, but we'll see. See you in the wasteland. Cheers, Cy, aka Beardy Cy." So thanks for writing in, Cy. There's if anyone's interested in teaming up, there's a long list of platforms and usernames over at our Facebook group. So search for us on Facebook, and then we'll sign you up. You'll find lots of people to play with over there. And then on December 8th, everyone come and hang out live when we're doing our podcasting marathon. And you can hear us draw characters. We'll toss out people in the YouTube chat. It's always a really fun thing. It's always one of my favorite shows of the season. It's just the character draws. It's everyone's hanging out and just chatting about what they think their characters are going to be like. So it's a good time. Everyone come and hang out. Great. Before we close out the show, we are going to check in with our project with Radioactive Rebecca called Fallout Terminal Velocity. We're continuing a story from last time. We checked in with Mutant Maw, and we will continue his adventures over there at Easy City Downs.
Hello there, it's Moore again, MA with a W, and I found this guy. He's all dressed up in a postman's uniform, and looks like these dogs got to him. Yeah, someone came and took care of the dogs while they were feasting, I assume. But I found a few letters on this guy, and I know it's not holotapes and it's not terminal entries, but if I could help get these to whoever they're supposed to reach, you know? And I feel as though this guy didn't die in vain, maybe. Here we go. Steph, they know. Don't ask me how, but they found out what you did. I don't think they know where you're hiding, and I hope to God this finds you first. But you have to pack up and get the hell out of there, okay? Don't tell anyone where you're going this time. I'll try and delay them as much as I can, but you'd better hurry. Look, Cole, I know you're sick of working for Bobby, but don't leave, good neighbor. You don't know how good you got it, hun. Steady jobs, decent place to live. You got Hancock to bash some heads in if people get out of line. Rika's taken over the gang here in College Square. She raised the tolls. Traders are taking the West Road now. Things don't turn around soon, there's gonna be a mutiny. Things start to go down, I'm taking my caps and getting the hell out of here. Love, Eris. And last one here. You heard about Eddie's gang out at the Downs? Some of his boys patch up robots, even race them around the old track there. Sounds like my kind of gig. I'm gonna take 10 man out there and tool them into a racing bot. Give me a week, then come on out. 50 caps says it was the top robot on the track. Tony. Hold on. Wasn't I just there?
Just a couple more things before we close out the show. Ray, you were mentioning your love affair with rats in this game so far.
Yes.
Sarah had mentioned some cute NPC robots that she had run across. And so she talked about a veterinary robot, so I didn't think that's too spoilery or anything. So I wanted to mention one that I ran into, and I was curious if anyone else had run into this cute Mr. Handy. I didn't catch his name. I didn't see a name on him or anything, but he was playing I heard music, like flute, fife music, and then it's like really distinctive marching tune fife music. And I was like, what the hell? And I was clicking my VATS. Lee made a comment when he was watching my Twitch stream about how I spam VATS. Man, you see me in Fallout 4. It's just all I'm doing is spam VATS constantly. But in Fallout 76, I can't do that as much because it uses your AP. So I was, just doing that as little as I possibly could. But I kept bringing up rats. There's rats everywhere, rats, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And there's fife music and all these rats. What the hell? And then I keep clicking VATS, and all of a sudden it locks onto a robot. And it turns out the fife music is coming out of his speaker or whatever. And he's leading a trail of 10 rats behind him just down the road. And none of the rats would go I'd walked right by them. They were not angry or anything. They were mesmerized, hypnotized by the fife music. And it was like the Pied Piper iBot or whatever. No, it was an iBot. It wasn't Mr. Handy. It was an iBot. It's coming out of his speaker box thing. You know how they always have a speaker, something they're announcing or whatever. The Mechanist iBots are always, having an announcement of some kind. But he was just, whistling a fife tune, and all this row of rats was following him. It was really cute. I like that one. And one other thing I had a question about. I'm not sure how the mechanics work in the game. If I'm out in the field fighting some bad guy, well, first of all, I run into the problem where my weapon breaks, and then I'm punching the thing, and you can't pause the damn game to switch. So you have to try to use your quick menu, but at the same time you're getting hammered in the face by whatever monster's killing. I don't like that I can't pause the game and switch to my other weapons. You know what I mean?
And you even get interrupted when you're reloading too.
Yeah, exactly. So I was wondering about defensive blueprints. Can I do something where I build a little concrete stand and put 4 turrets on it when I'm just running around, and just move my camp? If I don't care, if I'm Ray and I don't care about my settlement at all, I just plant my camp wherever in the middle of the field where I'm running into these big bad monsters, and just plant turrets there. Have that be my blueprint, have that be my camp base, that when I move it, that's what pops up.
You probably could. The only thing is it costs caps when you move your camp.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, it costs caps to fast travel, and I do that all the time. I'm constantly out of caps. Everyone's oh, I have so many caps. I'm no, I'm fast traveling. I don't have any. I'm over encumbered, and I have no caps. Those are two states that I'm constantly in Fallout 76 so far. I'm broke.
You're a
Yeah,
mess.
it's usually not too many caps. Just 3 or 4 caps to move your camp. And if you if you build it to where the turrets are on the structure itself, then they will move with the structure.
Right.
Because when you relocate your camp, everything from your old camp is stored. Everything that was setting outside of the building is stored separately, but everything, the building and everything in it, is stored in one block. And if you can plant your camp and there's space to put down your building, then yeah, you could drop that in to a strategic point
That sounds fun.
to protect an area for you.
And you can have it select the detached items as part of it, though that may be part of the blueprinting system.
Yeah, I think that's part of blueprints. Just the general storing, which it does automatically, and it doesn't cost you anything.
Right.
I've heard some people say that they had an issue where it'll only store the components, and you have to put them back one piece at a time. But that hasn't been my experience with it.
I had done one where I had a 4 foundation pieces, and when it stored it as the 4 different sections, and you had to put them out one at a time to restore your structure.
Yeah, mine comes in a block altogether.
Jessica was helping me with a problem I had. I could not set my structure down in a new location after it got zapped, and we talked about it back and forth on the Facebook group, and finally she said, well, it looks like there's a bug that has something to do with if you have a piece of furniture or whatever it is that sits astride 2 squares. There's a bug in the construction system, so that when you reinitiate or replace your building, no matter what kind of ground it sits on. I mean, I was trying to restore my building in the middle of one of the 4-lane freeways, in Appalachia, and I could not get it to sit down. So I had to actually dismantle it and do it again. But just a word too, and until that bug gets corrected, be careful if you have a workbench or like in my case, my race car bed. If it crosses the boundary between 2 squares, probably not a good idea.
Yeah. I've moved my camp once, and everything transferred that I had blueprinted. I had forgotten to update my blueprint for things that I had added, so my water purifier and stuff did not travel with me. I had the thing where I showed up and oh no, my camp is not where I left it. So I just kind of plopped it down not far from a train station just so I could have access to a vendor. But I wasn't near water, so I couldn't build a new water purifier and stuff. I just put down a new water pump. And what dictates where you guys drop your camp? Is it mainly location, or near a vendor, near water? What are the absolute aspects you have to drop that camp down?
No, I put mine in centrally to the area that I'm going to be exploring next.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you move it that frequently then?
Yeah, and then just that way I circle through an area and hit all the places I can find, and then pack it up and move.
I didn't even think of that. That makes way more sense. You should really build a structure that is easily repeatable so that you can pack it up and move it to each different location on the map, but it's centralized in each sort of like map location. So you can do a wagon wheel of being able to radiate out to each location and back to dump your stuff at the stash. Yeah. He's really smart, right?
Because there are only 2 locations you can fast travel for free: Vault 76 and your own camp.
Yeah, I use that to my advantage when I can. I do the poor man fast travel where you
There you
fast
go.
travel to camp for free and then take a shorter. It's okay. You have to take a connecting flight, but it's
Yeah.
much cheaper experience.
That's exactly what it is, too.
Nice.
Yeah, the Fallout 76 you also fast travel back to. There was a bug that when you were over encumbered and you died, it removed every location for you to respawn to except for Fallout. Yeah, they did it too, right?
Except for 76. Yeah, I ran into that one.
Yeah, me too.
To Vault 76.
Right.
And I had that happen once. And Sarah said she had it happen where she couldn't respawn anywhere, even at the vault. That's really shitty. And that, of course, that always happens. Like Leon will vouch for, like right after you've done a huge run for resources, or you've built something and haven't saved it down or something. You know what I mean? There's big crashes. Like, oh no.
Yeah, that's when I get the server quits.
Yeah, server gone. Disconnect. Good night.
You spent almost all of your bullets clearing out a bunch of super mutants, and just to have it crash, and then you restarts, and you're just outside of that space, and they're all respawned.
The super mutants are respawn, but your bullets did not.
Correct.
Yeah, they didn't give those back. I noticed.
What's really annoying is if you're in a difficult location and you go slow like I do, and you kill the bad guy, like an Assaultron, and if you're, derping around, poking around, and doing stuff, he will come back. He'll
respawn.
Click over, he'll respawn, and if you're too slow, you use up all your ammo killing him the first time, and there he is back.
Do you think that is a time thing, or someone new has entered the cell? Are they triggered by someone else?
That's a good point. Could be.
Yeah. That's. I got killed by a bunch of Scorch that way. I had cleared out Wally's world and was headed out the front gate, and somebody else came walking in, and all of a sudden, all around me, all these Scorch spawned. And at that point, I was surrounded by at least a dozen Scorched.
So it is that means okay, that's interesting. So if a new player enters the same zone, that'll automatically respawn all the bad guys. That's really interesting.
And I don't know, because it is a quest space, so I don't know if that's what drove it, but yeah, it was quite unfortunate.
That exactly is what happened to me. I was at that, what is it, Sugar Loaf or Sugar or something, and there's a number of Robo-Brains and an Assaultron, and now I realize, all of the bad guys, the really difficult bad guys, respawn because someone with a 113 or 114 level came into the room with me, and then quickly left it to me, and of course I died.
Of course. I'm not going to team up with people like 10 levels lower than me from now on.
Yeah. Check everybody on the server as you enter.
Yeah. It really should be level servers. I know you guys don't think that's necessary, but I think that would be a good idea. But then I couldn't just play with whoever you guys whenever too. See, it takes away freedom, I guess.
Yeah, but it's just such a fun game to explore.
Yeah, and I don't run into people all that often anyway. And I know there's been the griefing and stuff, but I've only ever had one bad interaction, and that was within the first couple days, and I haven't had anything since.
Me too. Just one experience.
Yeah, I kited him into town, and everybody else saw him, and he kind of fucked off and went away. So, yeah, I've had a pleasant experience. Was there anything else that anybody wanted to mention before we sign off for the evening?
It's fun so far.
Yeah. I'm having a good time. Thank you, Phil and Lee, for joining us this evening.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you for inviting me.
Your opinions are always welcome, and I like all of your contributions to the Facebook group and everything. So welcome back to the show anytime you guys want. Please stop by. Hope to hear from both of you when we're doing new characters here in a couple weeks. That'll be really fun. Ray, thank you for joining us tonight.
Always a pleasure.
Sarah, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
It's been a while since I heard your voice. You're in the gaming bed. You're snoozing and gaming.
I am totally gaming and enjoying the wonderful sounds of all of your voices.
Yeah. Let me go get this crappy podcast posted so I can be gaming too.
It's so fun, you guys. I don't want to stop, but I have to go to sleep eventually. Oh, I hate being an adult sometimes.
It's true.
Adulting is hard.
It is hard.
Adulting
Can I
is
just call in tomorrow?
do it.
There's some.
Yeah.
There's so many advantages to being a kid.
Game time.
Exactly.
All right. Couchers for life, and we'll see you in the wasteland.
Take care.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, a Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the wasteland.